Hello all, I am Steph, your Inkblot Oracle. Come on in, have a seat, get ready for this pick a card that is going to reveal a message meant for your eyes and is meant for you when you do land yourself here. And I have a feeling it's what you may need to hear in a moment. Not like you need, but sometimes we're just like, oh, I needed to hear that. It's meant for you if you are here. So when you're ready, close the eyes, cleanse the palette of the perception. When you're ready, open the eyes and choose. All right, we've got an Inkblot here. We'll go with 1, 2, 3. Mystery message 1, 2, 3. Maybe you're going to go with a 1, 2, or a 3, 1, or a 3, 2, 1. You know the gist. If there's any shapes or symbols standing out, speaking to your psyche and psychic senses, please follow that. First, timestamps are below. You can also check out my other channel, The House of Scrying. And then we also have a Bloodlands Oracle card here with it. So maybe that image is speaking out. And we're going to dive in. I will see you where you choose. Number 1, let's pitter patter. All right, for those of you that are new here or don't know, I use the Shaman's Palm layout. So we have Cave of Ice, Wind, Hearth Fire, Rivers, and Earth. Our Inkblot with supporting cards is in the midworld or spirit. All right. Okay, so you have a spirit guide stepping forward here. You could even be like mysteriously wondering, like, is this a new spirit guide? How do I want to lean into this, please? It has a different air than probably what you're used to. If there's been a focus that you've been working on, and that's starting to shift and change because there is change here at the tower. There's also something about your financial security that is coming into an abundance of alignment. It's like a shifting, a changing of alignments. New guide, who dis. So your message here blatantly is a very strong, and I only say strong in regards to presence. I'm sure they've got spiritual strengths, sit-ups, push-ups, but they have the capacity to help you and are here for you as you're deciding what gear you're shifting into. And it's quite the presence, quite the presence. Could be something about Russia as well, if you have relatives or ancestors in Russia or old world, because they're like where it's cold, almost like a Siberia or something along that lines. There's also something about this ancestor having like lots of earrings or things in the hair. Okay, somebody's third eye, I'm seeing those wings. So an angel gets his wings. But your third eye, there's something with the Six of Swords here. I read art first versus the words. Always follow your own intuition first. So you're moving from, with the Chariot here, you're moving from like an ice age into a carving stage. So it's like being an ice carver. Oh yes, with the Empress here in the hearts. I see you. I feel you. I want to honor the decisions you've had to decide to do along the way of this. There has been sacrifices. There has been navigating things. The glacier. Okay, this is a melt. This is the change. This is the melt. I want to acknowledge sometimes along the way we have meltdowns or we feel frozen, whether that's fear, this, that, or the other. But the message and the way I want to say it here and now is allow this melt to happen and this mystery to become normal. Abundance in your love life, personal, professional, corporate, creative, romantic, platonic, of course, whatever channel it is. If it feels mysterious right now, especially with this guide coming through, it's like a marching band of a vibe, though. I got to say, there's like a whole lineup waiting for you to like take the center stage of it all. And I think for some of you here, you might feel like you've been witnessing other people's parades or other potentials. That's what it's been showing you. You've been seeing the potentials because you're seeing them. It's in your scope, in your vicinity, in your existence as your own potential. Now, wow, that is a beautiful thing. And you may or may not be inspired. We can also be very irritated by that. We can be real here. But is it something that you want? To take something to be inspired from the potential state and to personalize it. And how that's going to be realized through you is kind of the mystery of all of this. And this message here with this very strong guide stepping forward. And I don't know why I want to keep saying strong, but it's just and maybe you've just had this strong inkling, this desire. It's like seeing the parade go down the street. And maybe you've been watching this parade for years, or whatever the case is, or just different people parade. I don't know what it is. It's not for me to decide, but I'm here. And you just, instead of being on the sidelines, you step into it. You you go into the street and you dance with your favorite character. Or you sign up to go be one of the people that hold the string of the big balloon animal. Or you start taking a music class so that one day when you want and you're ready, you're in the marching band. Do you know what I'm saying? There's all these actions, minute to massive, that kind of cure the mystery of this message. And then you're the one in the parade. And it's almost like through this parade, the succession of it. And then at the end, there's like Santa or whatever. But essentially, you go through the whole parade and you end up being the Santa. I'm sorry, that's the only example I have here. But it's a good one. All right, let's read the Glacier in this Bloodlands Tarot or Oracle. I keep calling it. 39 might mean something to you as well as a number. Coming into 12, something's closing out. And I'm going to give this a flip while I'm doing that so you can, scry. All right, you can do you. The Glacier. Patience, resistance. Oh, for heavens. Let me just put my goggles on. Patience, resilience, and modesty. Don't be modest. Jump in the parade. You've been patient, watching the parades, being inspired by the parades, and maybe trying to figure out where do you fit in all of that. Just start trying something. Glaciers are nature's water towers. And we have the tower right here. They hold an immense amount of liquid and release it slowly in warm months, regulating the health of the entire ecosystem below. Even in droughts, glaciers will keep the land and its inhabitants alive with clear, reliable meltwater. We talked about the melt. Very lovely here. You've got quite the mysterious message, and I'm digging it. The Glacier card reminds us to trust in our hidden resources and to develop a reliable consistency in how we replenish ourselves. It may be time to follow a new healthy routine. So put yourself in that parade. I'm just going to ask the question, but we can all, I, you, we, me, do we tend to sit on the parade and enjoy other people? Absolutely. Look at the parade. Their talents, their skills, and enjoy it. Celebrate them that they have stepped into their unknowns and stepped into their wants, stepped into be like, I want to be in a parade someday. It is what it is. That's why we're here. And it is fantastic that you can be somewhere and celebrate others because you're inspired by it. But this message has this caveat that yes, that is all grand and well, but that doesn't mean you can't also have your own parade and put whatever hidden skills, talents, nourishments that you want into a parade for you and for you to be celebrated, for you to be seen. But it is a craft, right? It's a craft of that. With the tower coming in, maybe for some this has to do with money. Change in your abundance. Allow that change to happen. Almost to the point where in the whole spirit of the way Spirit is showing me this, is it's like a parade for you. And you've been like sitting at the back. Maybe you think that you're at the back, but really this whole time you're the Santa Claus in the sleigh, and they're like, it's your turn. That was a ladybug, sorry. The Three of Cups in the Cave of Rivers is showing me that feel celebration. Feel the celebration. Sitting pretty. I kind of want to say, if I must and if I may, just because it's coming in this rabbit hole. If you want to land into the story of, why you would have evil eye, or if anyone's sending you evil eye, or whatever you're knowing that you've adopted as the evil eye, I don't think you need to really use it as a reason to worry and not do something. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to leave that there. I see you. Big bearded gentleman now coming in. He has horns. They're not regular horns. They are, can you see his like little biceps up there? Is it Poseidon? This is emotional. This is in the meltwater. Yeah, you're right there. See him coming in? Whoosh. Oh my God. It's like King Kong strong. Whew. I also want you to receive this, because how I'm feeling this and experiencing it is handing you another eye. Third eye, sixth sense, clair smelling, clair tasting, healing, Reiki, universal life force. There's so many words out there. There's so many areas. And yes, some of them are redundant. Some of them are overlaying. But follow the linguistics. Follow whatever linguistics roll off your tongue. And I'm hearing the song, pour some sugar on me. So there you go. All right. Is there anything else coming through? There is a dove of peace. Lots of Poseidon-y things. Titans too. Titans and Poseidons. I'm trying to decide how I want to interact with that energy up there. Somebody might really be coming into clear hearing. You might, if you haven't been already, you might be really experiencing hearing spirit, hearing trees, hearing thoughts inside your head differently. In the shell, out of the shell, in the shell, out of the shell. Somebody's getting a big old high five from those angel guides. I'm seeing a Chewbacca here. I am also seeing somebody like carrying a tire or rope. It's kind of like, who is that? It's the archaeologist. Indiana Jones. Oh, for heavens and hot dogs. Indiana Jones. But you know what's hilarious, if you've ever seen the show Big Bang? Is it when Raj and the other guy make a song, Indiana Jones? So it's something like that. It's, yes, there's the movie and maybe there's the soundtrack and I don't know, maybe I've seen one of them. But how they make their own song, it's great. I'm seeing feet. Oh, I'm shaking the camera a lot today. Ooh, shaking the earth, shaking the earth. All right, any more mysterious messages here? There is a flute player. I feel like I'm watching like a nymph or a fae or a gnome, a smaller creature playing a flute. Whoever plays the flute. I might have been correct with nymph. Did I say something about big feet, like those big bear slippers? There we go. Warrior. Okay. Do you see? Dude, whatever whoever maybe you have called in and have aligned with in the atmosphere of all that is and all the different archetypes, it's been a strong presence here the whole time. Oh, it kind of matches my background today. Look at that. No, I really want you to take it in. You rang. You called. I'm here. It's like, and it's very blue and green. Throat, third eye, heart. Ooh. Somebody might be a spirit, not only speaker, but singer. Do you sing in hymns? Tones, sound healing, sound, music maker, reggae, I just heard. Maybe you move to reggae and it gets you connected. Is there some form of tribal dance that it just kind of brings out in you. Goddess is on the bottom. Okay, let's grab 2 more cards and then we'll move on to 2 or 3 if you're continuing on with me, or if not, that's okay too. Creation. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Actually, we're going to do this. Okay, let's just share the space here, guys. No, apparently that's not going to work either. So, do you know when you just like muck up your own system? But I gotta fuss and fiddle. Gotta fuss and fiddle. Somebody play the fiddle. Maybe this is part. Also, do you feel fussy energies? It's okay. I want to come back to the power of the tower. Change maker. You yourself might be just a change maker, a disruptor, creation, destruction, construction, etc. Man, there's something good happening in your financial world though. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is like, if it has felt, you know, when somebody has like a, what do they say, a frog stuck in their throat or something like that, or maybe you felt held back in one way or another. Maybe it is financially or something in regards to receiving, even whether it's receiving compliments, receiving accolades, receiving whatever, praise, beautiful things to receive. And it's like, imagine like in this glacier kind of feel, very Viking energy coming through as well. And I'm seeing fossils and it's almost like, oh, this has been held back and, you know, learning lessons and ha ha ha. I'm not trying to make a mockery of it, but that's how I'm hearing it. Maybe that's in someone's head, like, oh, let's keep this away from him, her, whatever. Maybe even in our mind, that story's melting. And it just, this really nice flow comes out that nurtures. And maybe it hasn't been holding back, but it's been gathering, because a glacier is going to last a long time. And yes, there's seasons of warmer weather, cooler weather, but there is a benefit. And you know the benefits, because when you receive, when you exchange, it's clean. It's clean. Clean creation. Well, the goddess is on the bottom and the goddess is coming through now. What I do want to acknowledge here is masculine energies, feminine energies, the child of creation in the center, black, white, red magic, or gold, whatever you want to call it, esoteric, exoteric, expressive. Here it is. You are, okay, so it's, again, it sounds so cheesy, but I'm going to say it. You are the one. However one was made, a this and a that came together, and you are the harmony of that. You are the harmony. Please don't hide from your own harmony. Whispers is now on the bottom. Somebody's hearing something from spirit. That clear audience. I like it. Should we add on 2 more? I think we're going to, just because I like to complete my shaman's palm. And we've got 2 more. Are you ready? Duality and the prince. We just talked about this. The 1 and the 2, the first or the second becomes the third. The 3 is the 1, but the 2 pillars. Clean, going through the gates. What are those gates, if you know what they are? The gateway, whatever they're referred to as. Like in the movies and in the shows of sorts. And he goes through the gates of purity, like the child, the inner child, we'll call it. Yes. And this child, there has been a guide change. That's all I can say. And it's not, please don't feel abandoned. They're always there. It's just when you have a specialty, when you are requesting or stepping into the parade, And you're like, I'm going to try being a flag holder first. Maybe just to get over the anxiety of being in the parade, but allowing the excitement to come in, or whatever the case is. And then you want to go to be in the band, and then you want to be an acrobat person, and you move through it. You step through and turn this child and transmute the energy of the child while the child remains pure. The energy, the scarring, whatever we might want to refer to it as in regards to the inner child. Now we're in the adolescence, young adulthood. And that's the change. Depending on your age. Like, do you remember what it's like going from tween, toddler, or whatever the stages are, to teen, to young adult? Like, awkward. And I'm going to say this before I let you go. Yeah, it might be a little awkward for you going from, say, survival to thrival. It might just acclimate to it. And I mean, like, just acclimate to it. There's an acclimation to it. Do you want to acclimate to it? Yes or no? Do you want to adapt? Do you want to adopt that? Does it serve what is its benefits? Basically, I'm saying don't hold back. The transformation is here, it's clear, and it's strong as ever. And man, it's got history. All right. I hope this would serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. Thank you so much for being here. I am grateful for you. Please do like, share, subscribe if you feel called to. And yeah, I'm going to head on over to number 2. So I'll see you there. So much love. Bye. Number 2. The sky's for you. When you're ready, close the eyes, cleanse the palate. I'm going to take a sip. But you can gaze in there. See what shapes and symbols stand out to you. You're more than welcome to comment them below, as your insights do expand the experience and we all become the oracles. Nurturing our interconnected nature. You can drop an emoji. You know all the good things. I'm going to take a moment to hydrate. All right. Your shaman's palm is laid out. Cave of ice, winds, hearth fire, rivers, feelings, pentacles, midworld, and spirit. You have here happiness in the Alpine Lake. I'm actually going to start off with reading the Alpine Lake. But you know I read art first, so if anything's standing out to you, always follow your own intuition first. 15 might mean something to you. 15 days in your mystery message meant for you. The Alpine Lake, reprieve, a rest after difficult work, tranquility. Happiness is here. The climb is hard to reach the lake in the mountains, but there is no way to reach a more serene place. The cleanest water in the world is fed by alpine glaciers. You might want to check out number 1 as well. Oh, where the heck am I? It pools in lakes high above the timberline and is an oasis for weary travelers. The Alpine Lake card reassures us with great effort comes great reward. Whether the result is great wealth, peaceful rest, or a simple drink of fresh water, the calm, clean lake above the trees is well worth the journey. Expect a long period of rest if you need it. Oh, interesting. That long period of rest if needed with the glacier. And it notes here if it's read with the glacier card 39. And that is literally the card in number 1. So you really might want to go there. Unless you've come from there. All right. There's a tablet here of information. Resting and reading. Maybe it's audiobooks as well. How do you relax? How do you recalibrate? You're very smart here. You know when some people are like, you're too smart for your own good. You're smart. You're very, very smart. Okay, so there's a new beginning that's coming about, and I think it's like one moment. The stone Moldavite. Also another one that's coming through. Tektite, maybe? Moldavite and Tektite. So if those mean anything to you, they're definitely stepping forward. This is about heart space. And the slight green that's leading me here is taking me up to the Cave of Rivers where the 5 of Pentacles is. So you might be maybe getting a lack of sleep, a lack of rest, or feeling left out, whatever the case may be, and whatever Five of Pentacles means to you. So, but I want to note, happiness is here, and it might feel like it's like reaching this oasis of abundance for you. Okay. It's very much so referring or connecting to the dots to number 1, because it was about financial security. Oh my goodness, my throat. So let me clear my throat. But the Fool's right behind it with the Sacred Clown. So you're like, finger guns. It's all good. That's probably not helpful if you're like really like, yeah, it's all good. But it's like, cool guy, the fun. You're like, yeah, I got you. But I've had to open up to something. It's something written in the tablet here. Could be an old scribe. There's something about either croquet, playing a game, or hockey coming through, possibly even lacrosse. I feel like I'm watching monks that we would, put them in their typical place that we would imagine them, and then put them out in playing a garden game. So it's like watching monks take time out, but they're not taking time out. They are still in time with their intention, or whatever the case is, their spiritual smartness, which is probably why you're here. Because this message that might seem like it's hidden from you, but I think like you've had sparks of visiting these aha moments, or yes, I feel that, but like, does it go away, or do you have to redo the climb every time you want to reach this pinnacle moment of happiness in the heart space? Ace of Cups, Cave of Hearth Fires. The cup, the goblet, the cheers, congrats. I'm asking and receiving advice. So I'm guessing you have asked and are receiving. Like the Glacier Dragon's Eye Stone is also coming through. Daisies might mean something too as well. Something about like with it being the freshest water, maybe rising above what would be symbolically speaking your tree line, right? So above that. I don't really know what that means. I'm not a horticulturist or a tree person in to such a great extent. But is there a place where in our mind, even if we must, it's simple, thank you. Heart, head, higher self. Okay? And let's say the head is the tree line, and the benefits of that go down to the heart space and exude in our humanness. But can we go up to the higher self that is above the tree line for the cleanest of clearest? Now, that doesn't mean it's the most likable, per se. That doesn't mean it's, 1 + 1 is ... 2. But does it look like 11? Does it look like gates? I got to shift. Yeah. Okay, sorry, let's keep going. You've planted something each time you seem to go to these places, how this message is landing for you. Personal, professional, corporate, creative, romantic, platonic. You tend to things. A gardener is not an easy position. I spent many years working at a organic flower farm. Oy, the amount of work to garden and murder of the weeds, and I kind of want to give you credit, because there's, in your smartiness of ways, intellect and intuitively, but in between those, what about the space in between? The breathing room. And allow yourself to enjoy maybe what might appear simple to you, or the simple to be profound. With the Princess of Wands coming in the Cave of Winds of the Mind, music might be a really nice way to relax and restore, or a place to put your words, your poetry. You know what I'm saying? There's a woman, Maleficent, coming through here in the Inkblot. So very Thoth, Hermes Trismegistus, however you want to land into it. Scribed feeling might be writing music, writing poetry, etc. Songs, scripts. And you tend... There's also something... I'm seeing like pulling a cake topper or like revealing a cake, like happy birthday or celebration coming in. Something about old-fashioned clothes pegs. This Maleficent character, it just feels like a feminine energy or guide, however you might land in with Maleficent. Something misunderstood, possibly also about the stones I mentioned earlier, or the minerals. There's rhinoceroses here. This is what I'm going to say before I flip this. What is under the lake or inside that mountain? You're so laser sharp. You're so laser sharp. Is there an area of your life? This is how this is feeling before I start adding on some other cards. It feels like there, the areas of life, the channels, personal, professional, corporate, creative, romantic, platonic, or maybe it's your job, career, home, goals, inner child, all the things. And it's like, but there's one that's turning your focus. It's like, oh, I do really well here, but as soon as I want to get to my love life, it's just like, and it's like, how do I apply the same equation of 1 + 1 or 8? If you're a fancy math person, maybe you're a mathematician as well. Like, how do I apply that same formula to this area? Maybe that's where you're being asked to release that formula and feel out for this math, different math, or a different language, like being in school, maybe using English, again, words, writing, journaling. Maybe you want to write it down, scribing like Thoth, all that kind of good stuff. I'm seeing horns, and all of the sound that comes out goes into the ethers and the atmospheres. A lot about sound here. You might want to check in, or maybe you're very well aware and you already work with it, and I'm just acknowledging it. Like, I don't know if it's like EMFs or like waves. Maybe there's somebody here that's healing through like radiation. Something's going on here. I feel like I can feel it. I feel like I also want to listen to music to kind of offset or enhance whatever's going on. I also feel like you hear heaven. I don't know how else to say that, but I feel like you hear heaven. And I feel very confident about that. I also feel like when I'm looking at this 5 of Pentacles in the Cave of Rivers, you are of service to others who, it's like being a teacher. Thinking about a teacher as the example that's gone through, was in kindergarten, grade, 1 through yada, 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 and then high school, then college and university or master's, whatever people need to do. And then that teacher takes all of that information, that knowing, and is a grade 4 teacher or a high school teacher or professor at college. And you ironically go back to a simpler time. But your knowing and knowledge, because you're super smart here, even if it's in the spiritual realm, and the languages with it's just a starting point to kick off. But that person, that soul, that you that have had lifetimes and years of experience, and then you come back to a simpler time to share that. And you might only be teaching or being of service to what in the scope of your whole knowledge base is like 10%. But you hold the trust in knowing that you can speak to different students or people around you that might have different questions, different levels, different peaks and valleys of their interest. And then also to acknowledge that even in that teacher role, as the example, but then you also have a personal life where maybe you go and you interact with people higher in the scope of higher education because they spark you. And then maybe you have other circles where you're, like a faculty or your band or your house or your family. And then you all get to share where you're at in those moments. And it becomes like an orchestra. And you're not concerned about the other things. It just works. It's harmony. Does that make sense? It does. It does. It does. Hopefully I've done some justice. Something about resting on morals. Is that the saying? I have flipped it. Take it in if you'd like to. Like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Do you know when you're like skiing or seeing somebody ski on the water or the lake? And we'll go with the alpine lake. And somebody's put a ramp in so that like the water skiers or whatever they do can like leap. That's what I'm seeing. There's also something about a vacation, like a private resort. Something about your happy place. What is your happy place? And the varying versions of that. Your happy place physically, spiritually, metaphysically, and so on and so on. Maybe make a time to plan a vacation. I'm seeing crocodiles, just their heads chat. But it's like they have like dentures. So their dentures are they're like super old. It's like a chitter chatter of a conversation watching these like geezers of crocodiles have this conversation. And maybe it's about control. If I personally wander into teeth, instead of grinning and bearing and biting down, I can like relax the jaw. Something about a mirror. Somebody sounds really squawky around you. I don't know if sometimes you have to just grin and bear it for one reason or another, out of respect or out of the environment or the students or something along that lines. And whatever these students are, for some of you might be a very, traditional teacher, and for others it might be, that when you're at the grocery store, you are a teacher, leading by example of just being. For some, this message is, in order for happiness and clarity and calm of this lake, my emotional wellness and mountains. I heard that, I think it's from Reels or it's a song, or I don't know where it's from. So get your shit and go. And sometimes that's what means peace and happiness. Music again. It's coming through. All right, let's add on a few more cards here. Healer. Cave of Ice. There is, especially even with the sacred clown over here, there is something emerging. And I think it's been written, dare I say, like fate or destiny, however you want to fall into it. But to acknowledge, no, it's a rune. It's a rune, like a tablet rune. And you've chosen it and you've accepted it. It has meaning to you. And you're like, yes. Yes. I also want to know when we saw Maleficent from the other side, and there's this big feminine feel here into the garden of, could be between a rock and a hard place, but you've been nurturing something. Do you know what it kind of also makes me feel like? This message may be for one, thank you for holding space for them to receive it. You're going to meet somebody academically, lovingly, platonically as a friend, while you're just doing you. I mean, like, you're at the grocery store, pumping gas. I don't know. What do people do? And somebody else is going to be there doing that thing too. Also, something about a community garden. Something about the show, movie, Dirty Dancing. Joy is coming in the cave of winds of the mind. This is that orchestra, the ballet of being you. And there's all these moving parts. Like there's the maestro and the dance begins. You are the dance. I got a note here because it just keeps coming through. Something about TV time is making me very, very tired. So I don't know if that's too much, whatever that is for you. Device time, doom scrolling as they call it. I am seeing somebody kiss. There's a child there. It's cute. And we're all holding hands. Like one big happy family, but it's like the three, whatever that might represent. There could be three friends. Three parts of you: Mother, Maiden, Crone, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, masculine, feminine, neutral, creation, destruction, construction. Joy and pain. Keep it going now. Sunshine and rain. Give it to me. Raw bass. Forgiveness. That's like an exhale. That's with your Ace of Cups up there in the cave of hearth fires in your heart of hearts. And I can see the eyes here. It's like I'm tired of hurting, or I'm tired. And this is how I want to say that. Maybe it's in regards to somebody's nature, or even your nature, or just nature. Because again, I want to come to the garden thing. Nature's tough. It's a tough teacher. Forgive yourself. Like, this is the way I try and go about it. You know, if someone's done you dirty or did you wrong over and over and over again, but we step in full accountability. But here in this moment, I forgive myself for knowing, seeing, being smarter than that, whatever the case is. Start with the self and allow that to spread out, kind of like the song, the joy of this music, joy to the world. The world in your mind, the world in your heart, head, higher self. Forgive yourself. That will flood out and inherently maximize the multidimensional interconnectedness of that from your perspective. Now, how it's received or not received, never said or spoken, it's not any of our concern. But it's like, oh, I forgive myself for just, or I wish I wouldn't have said that. I forgive myself. And from there, then when you go and maybe for some do apologize to that person, place, or thing, and then there's other people where we'll never get closure and you don't want to see them again, or whatever the case is, or take that position, but let's just say, for the simplicity's sake, I'm going to talk to my inner child and say, I forgive myself as an adult, or when I was a teenager or young adult, for being so douchebaggy or not listening to you for what you wanted. And I forgive myself. There's something that just feels like a 10,000 pound weight comes off my heart. Now, I'm sure I'm not saying it in even remotely the right way to do you any form of justice, but you can apply that justice. And then if there is another person, place, or thing, and say we go to an external person, you say to your kid or your cousin or your friend, you're like, I'm sorry. Man, there's no ego involved now, because your ego can't be hurt if they're like, well, screw you, I reject it, or blah, 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 blah. That's how it's being received. And you know within yourself, The frequency of forgiveness is already flooded through. It doesn't mean you're a doormat. It doesn't mean you can just have to take it. But that can't be destroyed, right? So when you do communicate to somebody, you're like, I'm sorry. Your essence is expressed, and it's not based on anyone else's ego or emotion, but it can be felt. I'm probably not doing you justice for this, but I want you to know it's here. I can feel it. It feels good. And it does feel good. Allow yourself to feel joy. Sometimes joy is taking a nap. Plugging in. As you plug in your phone, you plug yourself in. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, something's leaving there. I can see it as soon as I acknowledge that. And I also just heard, like, well, put it in your pipe and smoke it. And I'm like, is that supposed to be like, I don't, like, I don't know what that is. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. It's comical. In the Cave of Rivers with the Five of Pentacles, we have here duality. So here's the thing. Did we speak about these gates? I'm not sure. This is the exact same card that I believe came in the same spot as number 1. And number 1 was also communicated with the glacier and connected to. So you may want to. Maybe you've already come from there and you're like, yeah, I get it. I want to know, somebody might be coming through here, dreams on the bottom, that we might have looked for other people, our parents, to say, or guardians, to, be happy for us, or other people, places, or things to be happy for us. And you have maybe found, but have healed, and are healing, but don't stay a hostage in healing. Just my perspective. But maybe at some point in time, your heart was held hostage. Just like having divorced parents and having to choose and feeling like a pawn. They're just fighting back and forth, or this wants your attention, that's one. And then there's just like, I feel like I'm never enough, or I can't be in as many places as I want, or whatever the case is. So I'm going to take a moment to forgive them by forgiving myself for even continuing to go back and forth and trying to appease, and in some way, shape, or form enabling this. And then I get to step out as the clown, as the fool. And you might feel, if there's like backlash about that, to be like, well, how dare you step out of this lack cycle? How dare you? And accused of abandoning certain people, places, or things. Again, be responsible. I'm not saying, pick up and ditch your responsibilities. This feels, I was younger and I had the idea that happiness was provided, to a certain caliber, and it lacked. But you're the change maker from that. You disrupt that. And so when you start to forgive, or when you forgive yourself and your frequency steps out of that, maybe you've already done it when you're a teenager, young adult, and you've moved out and you started your own family, moved to a different town, or whatever your story is, whatever choices you've made to beautifully embody this. But to, kind of shake off any sort of about it. People can look at you and be like, they get louder. They get more sad, use more guilt, more resentments to try and keep you in the same place because you're beyond their comfort zone. They couldn't or chose not to for one reason or another. Anyway, wherever and however this message is, and I feel like I'm so in between the liminal space. Please, I hope that, let me know below if everything's okay. But I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because you have prioritized your happiness, your peace. And when you lay in your final resting place, if you're new to me, I wander through the living and the dead equally, here and hereafter. But your final resting place will be done so with peace and ease of your heart, head, and higher self. And whether or not others, whoever others are in your life, do or don't understand you, were you ever asking them to understand you? Or have you? Maybe we have when we were younger. Absolutely, we want to be understood, felt, seen, heard. But whomever and however you are here, you have created a life for yourself that doesn't need to be understood, to be accepted, to be valued. You created it. And you are, in some way, shape, or form, the chain breaker. Is that what the kids call it nowadays? The breaker of chains, the karmic wheel of these loop-de-loos. It all stops with you. You'll even do it scared. You've done it scared. You're so smart. You're so smart. You're so smart. So I get why there might be a little bit of a gruff sometimes. It's a baby owl in here. You take that ramp and you water ski. Phew. Collapse. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. So also in number 1, this placement was the tower. The change. But yours is the collapse of duality, and that even duality lacks something. There's space between the duality. It's not just stuck to this and that. You have recognized something, whether or not you have been able to articulate it. I don't even know. I'm doing my very best here. It's like it's not even sun and moon. It's sun and sun. Because turning the sun is the moon. Yeah. The collapse of crap. I'll just be healed. Joy, forgiveness, duality, collapse, happiness is here. You turn your own frown upside down. There is a dragon here laying on its belly with this really long tail. You have a cowboy coming up to meet you, coming up to a pass, whatever, cowboy, cowgirl. And they're like, howdy, partner. But your tail is like a road or a path to this for you, for people that want. When you're like easy breezy, lemon squeezy. And it's like, what is this dragon doing? Like playing like a puppy. You're like, would you like to swing on a star? You're just like a dragon in the lake. Oh, the cleanest of cleanest. You get it. And you're not only do you get it intellectually, maybe it's come in intuitively, and then you mold with it intellectually, but then you embody it. Like it's in your heart, and now it's out in the humanness. Maybe you are a healer. Maybe you are a musician. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you're a poet. Maybe when you drink your water, it's full of love water, high vibe. When you see lack, you love, you send love there, and you be of service to lend a hand when nobody else, I don't know, whatever that is. And you no longer look at this duality place of density as like a rock and a hard place. You're like, oh, thank you. This is a channel for me to create a garden in. If a garden symbology works for you. Yeah. I don't know why I need to be so cheesy. It's not easy being cheesy. So is there a collapse of crap? Yeah, the house of cards falls. Like forgiveness, like a whisper. But what's left, what remains? The space for you to breathe. Big. Rest. Slow down. It's funny because it's like the plant and the mineral realm are here a lot. And for me, the mineral realm is like slow. But plants are kind of like, there it is. All right. I'm going to leave this here. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. Joy. I'll see you at number 1 or number 3 or until we meet again. So much love. Number 3, Cleanse the palate. Take a nice deep breath. Relax the shoulders. Go. Get your shaman's palm laid out here. Cave of Ice, Winds, Heart, Rivers. You actually have 2 cards there. And your Cave of Earth. The Caldera and Knowledge is on either side of your midworld, supporting your Inkblot. Take it in as your portal to perceive and receive in. Feel well to comment below what you see, sense, or feel. Any insights that come up as we all become the oracles of oneness, different perspectives. Like, share, subscribe. All right, there's an owl sitting on a perch there. It actually kind of reminds me of like those macrames from the 70s with that were made in owls. Oh, my ear's getting really itchy. Ooh. And something about 2 sand timers, which is leading me into the 2 sand timers could be paralleling timelines or like 2 things. Obviously 2 things. How do I want to say that? Now it's going into my other ear. That's really, really weird. Whew. Thank you. It's like history in the future. It could be like the road lines, and you're driving in the center of now. There you go. But it's leading me towards the Cave of Rivers, which we have here, the Tower and the Hangman. Now, you know I read art first, so follow that, but you can also follow the tarot card meanings. And here I am ready to walk in emotionally. But look who you meet. That's who I meet anyway, when I went in there, of how I'm feeling. And it's like, oh my goodness, who knew enlightenment was steampunk, or was punk, was rock, was so exciting? Who knew enlightenment was so exciting? Whew. This is your knowledge, your brilliance. You might want to check out number 2, only because, or not only, but at least in this moment, like they're super smart over there in card 2, Inkblot 2. There's like a whole different kind of area of smart. And this feels like it's being put into words, put into the song, writing the script. And I think that you have flipped the script, especially in this Cave of Earth with the 8 of Cups. Reading the art first, of course. Cool dude. Cool dude. Walking away means I'm walking towards. And you're focused on what you walk towards. I don't feel like I'm disrespecting or insulting what I'm walking away from. What I actually feel in this moment, now that might be very personal to some, and you're going to figure that out, and you can acknowledge it for yourself. This is, I emotionally was like electrically charged. Maybe you're very empathic as well. But I met enlightenment, and enlightenment has personality. So you come out of this situation, 2 sand timers, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm ready. That's how it feels. I'm ready. And I know a lot of the times in, at least from what I can see very topically in the spiritual communities, and even like the motivating speakers, they'll say you don't need to be ready, just start doing it. But that in turn, at least in this moment, implies regardless of your fears, I'm not talking about being irresponsible. I'm ready to move through that with those very powerful emotions, frequencies, and energies as your friend, because they're guides guiding you. And I don't know what this mystery message is meant for you to hear, but I do know in my heart of hearts with the 9 of Pentacles, it's freaking beautiful. It feels good. It feels good to say it. Say it, don't spray it. The 6 of Wands, and interestingly enough, we're like going in the opposite. Not that there's a right or wrong, just like the Inkblot. We're just typically I move from ice to earth, and this time we're going earth to ice. You might have been looking for something in the mind, a key, trying to put something together. 2 people as well with those 2 sand timers. It's like putting 2 lava lamps upside down, one upside right. Gemini could also be a thing here. And it's like I feel like I've been looking for what would be your 9 of Pentacles? What would be that almost And why isn't that enough? That's a reasoning for you. I don't know. But I feel like emotionally, you've gone through some things, hung up to dry, hang out, whatever. I don't know. Hung up to dry. Yeah, something like that. Okay, and the cave of earth is the King of Swords. So there's some energy here. I'm just going to acknowledge, for one, that feels like a baboon. Freeze them. Bind in your mind. It's coming back to like the Eight of Cups. You've made a decision. Whatever emotions come up, you feel them. Mind things, you come up, memories, okay. But you made a decision. What are you moving towards? Because it's like, I'm looking for something. I'm like, what? How did this happen? Or how does this make sense? But you're trying to figure out a baboon when there's two different, and I'm not trying to be insulting to a baboon. There might be, I'm sure there is, and I know there is a positive aspect to a baboon. But in this case, the way it's coming through, it's a masculine energy, not saying it's male or female expressed, however that might be. It might be in you. And if there's something about the masculine energy, one way or the other expressed, that feels, like it just like, what in the world? Why does my heart go through these towers? And then I feel enlightened and I walk away, walk towards, and then boop. And it's like, there's a bookmark in the knowing of some sort. And what I want to say for at least myself in this moment, it's looking at the ghost looking at me. It's because it's me. I don't know. Let's read the Caldera card and see what else comes through. Because it's like these two sand timers, like the Days of Our Lives was that the soap opera that had it. 38. Maybe something since you were 38. I got distracted there. The Caldera. Incarnation, healing old wounds, and purification. In the vent of an ancient volcano, soil collapses slowly into the hole, creating a circular crater. In some rare cases, groundwater will fill the depression, forming a small lake inside the cone. Filtered through volcanic rock, the water is vibrant and deep blue, and considered sacred in cultures around the world. The Caldera card asks you to find an old wound in our lives and transform it into a sacred site. What will you fill with the deepest blue? It's like dipping it in. Also something about candle dipping. Yes. Making candles, maybe candle magic or something along that lines. I feel like, if I'm being honest here, and this is just me how I'm feeling, receive or release freely, of course. There's something I'm not admitting about myself that I see in others that I'm not accepting of myself. How I might be, have been, whatever the case is. Maybe it's inner child, we all know all the places to look or consider. But there is a looking in the mind. But the mind is only but one landscape. Intellect is but one landscape. Because it's like with those two sand timers, it's like, oh, in certain areas, I'm happy, happy, happy. And then I still seek over here. And then I have towers simultaneously. So there's this harmony that's individually and but I feel like I'm looking at a Rubik's Cube of all of these things. It's a very curious sensation. So what is your mystery message? I don't really know. It's so mysterious. It's like in a Rubik's Cube, and I'm trying to put it together. Not that that's my job, but at least I can acknowledge for you if you're here and this is what you're resonating with. Something about peppers, whether they're jalapeno or they're like the small skinny peppers. Habanero. Yeah, I can see this bat down here, something about the subconscious. It's like going scuba diving in this, but realizing it comes down to a point in a funnel in this crater. It doesn't go any deeper underground. And sometimes there's connections that just don't go deeper than that. Is that enough? What does that mean? When I keep looking at this tower, feel like I'm shaking my camera. Hold on. I feel like I'm in a time machine. And I go back in time to a time I was enlightened. It's like I flip the page back to that page and I begin there. That's how I feel. Yeah. It's right there, actually. If this caldera sat up here, it's like this is the funnel. Like if you're putting oil in your car, like this is the bottom of it. Okay, sorry, there's a different energy coming through now. Saint is on the bottom. Okay, back to you. Thank you. Do you see his artistry there, what he's wearing? He's like a superhero. He's got power. But look at the floor. Look at in the background. Is that an electric chair? Which really brings me into the tower. That it's like a fortified tower time machine. There's something about this King of Swords. I don't know what it is. Maybe this is the mystery being solved. Okay, there's a spiral in there. Do you know what it's making me feel like? Is that who is that? Iron Man. Iron Man. How he has like that heart thing. Iron Man. I'm going to flip this Inkblot if you're ready. There's a jar. It's more like a bottle. Where's my little thing? Where's my stick? Oh, it's over there. Okay. See this bottle here? And it's like essence would come out or a scent. It's protected by something in candlelight. By candlelight. It might be in this volcano. I suddenly just felt like really dismissed by something or someone. That was weird. All right, let's head on a... Oh, sweet chariot, I'm gonna carry you home. Yeah, I'm in a... what is that, like a Chinese finger trap here? Or am I rolling a doobie? I don't know. I am in Casket Crypt, but it's kind of like more Egyptian style. That was a weird little few moments. I have no idea if that was a few seconds or a few minutes. I apologize. And you know how like on the crypts or whatnot, they would have like the shape of the person on top resting? Like, of their essence, right? Of their essence. In essence. And I'm laying and I'm resting. And literally, I've got the arms crossed like this. Thank you. When I'm asleep, in my closest to conscious death space of the physical body being in rest, and maybe you want to watch number 2 because it was a lot about rest, is when I kind of come into like an Iron Man power, if I must and if I may. And then I can start seeking. And it's almost like those realms, the less physical realms, subconscious realms, are way more comfortable for me. That's just a ladybug. They're buzzing around. I'm going to let them be until they do their thing for winter and go where they need to go. My home is their home. Yeah, I'm like in Shavasana. That's how I'm going to sense it. There's also like this Cheshire cat kind of feel. It's like somebody smiling, or maybe you have to smile in situations, but really you're like, you see or sense someone is threatening, or you know that whatever the case is, you know, vice versa, all the mirrors and the house of mirrors, yada, 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 yada. I'm not trying to dismiss it. I just can't figure it out in this moment because I'll get constipated. It's very multidimensional, but it's also about me. I feel like I'm being asked to say, yeah, I can acknowledge all that because whatever realm this isn't just the physical. I'm more in a Shavasana state. So now it's getting even more abstract in the subconscious and beyond. What's beneath the subconscious? That's the kind of the space where I'm leading into. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And so it's like I'm in this dream state, sleeping, resting, healing, recovering. The physical body is doing its thing. Yes. And I can come into like this Iron Man like power, and I can go traveling, and I can start seeking through the subconscious for the tidbits and the jewels and the, you know, where things are, the ghosts of the past, present, and future. There's the bad up there too. And I feel quite happy here. But then I go like beneath the subconscious, or maybe in like a side door or hidden door. And I feel like this is something I'm not understanding about the King of Swords energy, or at least in this moment, I'm applying to the King of Swords energy kind of from when I started, where I'm not acknowledging something in the mirrors of me and others. Because I step into it and it might look like a house of horrors, but you're like, no big deal. I'm enlightened. I can do this. But there's something I feel like in each time I'm doing that, I'm ignoring it. I'm just going to say it. I'm ignoring it. It's almost like it's not threatening. And yet, I create conditions to ensure that I am more threatening. So therefore, anything else is non-threatening. But I don't acknowledge my threateningness. Do you know what I'm saying? There's something tickling around all the frequencies here. So I'm resting. This side feels peaceful. This side, my back, like my neck is back. That's what that feels like. Let's add on some cards and see what's going on here. I have no idea if this message has been helpful in any way, shape, or form. But I want to thank you for the experience because it is delightfully interesting, fascinating, and with the card fear coming out, a little scary. But maybe this has been what it is I've been like wandering through, obviously from my perspective of trying to share it without trying to color it too much, but enough that you can relate, because you will put it together of threatening, non-threatening, the towers, the feelings, the fears, and there it is. Have I met death? Death of what some here we call the ego. But did it? Absolutely not. If here I'm going to just call it out. If anyone's like, well, death of the ego, and I say that in the most sincere way, less mocking, but clearly can see that is absolutely not the case here. I'm not even sure if that's really a healthy thing to do. But there is plenty of ego here. Plenty of ego here. It might be occult ego or esoteric ego or whatever the case is, but it's here. But this also might be an energy that you come into and you're just like, what? What? Why? And maybe it's because it's like, have a healthy ego. Have a healthy ego. It's not threatening to the world to have a healthy ego. And if they see it as threatening, That's a them thing, because you're here and you can see that now to be like, oh, that's very threatening to me. Or whatever the case is, apply it wherever you want. And you're like, this could be your calling to say, no, don't be afraid of your ego. The strength of that merges and blends with the essence and says, yes, we are whole and we're not cast aside as some beast in the swamp of the wisps. Again, what people do with it, I'm not saying everyone does or doesn't, doesn't the right way, whatever is right for them. Some loop is being like, it just feels like time has stopped. When they have like those movies or shows where some witch or one of the witches or whoever can like stop and everything freezes to give you like an extra 5 minutes or what appears to be 5 minutes. That's what it feels like. Something about the Pied Piper as well. Careful of Pied Pipers. I don't know what that means. It's like out of that bottle of that essence. Do you know what it makes me feel like in this moment? It makes me feel like out of that comes the ego of existence, of adventure, maybe? Who is this? Let's take a look at here. We have 22, the adventurer, coming in with the 6 of Wands, the subconscious adventurer. I am seeing the show Witcher. It's been quite some time. I think I only watched like the first season of it. But like the Witcher pimped out. Are you masculine or feminine, everything indifferent here? It's like I am seeking this energy. Here's the difference. Seeker, possibly in the subconscious space. In my heart of hearts, I'm like waiting. And this energy is actually looking over at this energy. Your heart looks good. Your heart is in the right place. That's how I hear this. There's like been wild characters around you. These like it's like life has been like a movie, or there's many movies playing all at the same time in and around you. This is wild. And so hopefully it's like when we watch like dramas and comedies and horrors and all these different kind of movies, because it's all been here. It's all here. There's somebody laughing. It's almost like I just got a joke. Fascinating. They're down here and they're laughing. And I'm seeing it like those 2 Muppets that would sit up in the stands, like the Heckle Brothers. I don't know. Is that what they're actually called? I feel like I just... Oh, there's another man with a hat in here. You know what he does? Yeah, this is like goddess energy here, up here. Goddess, apply it what you will. That's what is seen and felt in your heart of hearts. It's the way I want to say it is like the King of Swords and the Queen of Hearts. No go. But the Queen of Hearts and the King of Hearts, and however you want to relate that relationship, personal, professional, corporate, creative, romantic, platonic, the yada yada yadas. You got heart and soul. Da 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 da. Da na 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 na. Yes, yes. Now there's another face that's looking up going, Lord have mercy. This is an amazing message. I don't know if it is for you, but I am so here for it. It's like, this is the most magical movie ever. And I've been wandering through it by candlelight. Cave of Rivers, Expansion, and Shiva. So fun. Look at... I just love art, you know? When they say a picture can say 1,000 words, you know, and I do my best to yammer out a good hundo or two or so of them. You might have a connection to Shiva. This feels like the enlightenment of excitement, and how enlightenment can be exciting. The towers are also exciting, and maybe we get addicted to tower energy. It's electrifying. It's like the Mad Hatter's house, the house of Frankenstein, of trying to build this creature, this space to expand into. And the whole time it's like, right here. And how frustrating is that to hear that? You've been looking for something that's been right here all along. There are realms of reality that you feel that you're tapped into. And I want to acknowledge that, even within a person, right? The layers, you know, the layers within yourself. So imagine the layers as well in somebody else, and getting to know all that and accepting those, being introduced to their Akashic records, to their shadow scrolls, and to things that are written in invisible ink. Do you want the experience to expand and explore, or do you want the knowing and make the decision? Like, I don't know, there's something about that here. Have the experience that is the expansion. Whether the outcome is yay or nay, it is. Did I talk about the man with the hat? It's like he's in wallpaper and comes out and in sometimes. That's like the clear. He just popped in again, so it's the clearest I can. He just like pops in and out of the walls, or maybe you have an entity or ghost, or, you know, cute little haunting or two, and it's like they just move in and out of the walls, or that's the moment you catch them, is when they're like transitioning from one room to another. It's like, woo. Yeah. In the Cave of Earth, we have here with the Eight of Cups, Virgin. Eight of Cups, what you walk away from, but what are you walking towards? Do you know what I want to say? The adventurer is Shiva, the goddess, the virgin, the purity, of course. They're all the same people in different forms. Even this child here is Shiva, different form. This goddess is also the seeker. This pimp adventurer is also the fear walker. What came through with this virgin? Witch. Witch. Give us the witch. What is going on? I have to get another layer of goggles on. It's like it changed color here, eh? We were like in the blues, some purples, a little bit of red, a little bit of gold. More gold came out. And then like this beautiful emerald green came in. Something about the lips. Those earrings. Actually, those earrings that are in here are right here. So there could be something about earrings. I just saw something open up. That was weird. And it made a sound. So in one rabbit hole, I'm seeing Poison Ivy from Batman. One of the, I think, yeah, maybe. Riddler with Jim Carrey. I don't remember who was Poison Ivy. Oops, sorry. But I'm also seeing that. Okay, thank you, I'm hearing you. For some, it might be that witch wound that people talk about and cleansing that witch wound. Because it's wicked. And I want to know, I think we might have been talking about it at some point in time. There's envy here. And maybe it was when we were talking about threatening and non-threatening towers, this side, the other. So, but here's when I step into that energy. It's the 2-time things again. Thank you. What's that song? It's too late. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Again, it's all the same. They're all the same people here. It's all the same energy. It's fascinating. And I am doing you no justice trying to explain how plain in view it is for me here. I think that's why like such a bold Inkblot just creates the almost like opening up like maybe a book. I don't really know that that's what it is though. I wish I could get a different image to come through to help me out what it is that I'm opening. It feels like a container nonetheless, or maybe it's something I'm putting in. Maybe it's just because I'm under the caldera here. And while it comes to a funnel to a point, it's everything else around that. Yeah, in the different spaces around that. Because the knowledge I feel like I've acquired in this session together, I don't even know that I could put to words. If I was to trying to explain to somebody, oh, did you pick pile 3? Let me tell you. No, I don't know that I could even try to come to a simple theme. Because there's been many themes here. And yet all the themes are one. It's like being able to see the sameness or the qualities that are reflective of ourselves, even if we don't want to see them or acknowledge them, or the cruelty in others, the kindness in others. Teaching ourselves how to be kind to others so we're kind to ourselves to receive kindness, or being kind to ourselves so that we can receive kindness, being cruel to others on a subconscious space or wicked or whatever the case is. Are we cruel to ourselves? Are we cruel because we don't know enough? We're not being enough? I don't know. It's all here. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm just kind of like, yeah. So this is very exciting and electrifying enlightenment. It is the House of Frankenstein's frequency of friggin' enlightenment. That's what I would say. It's the House of Frankenstein's friggin' frequency of friggin' enlightenment. Friggin'. If you've made it this far, I honor you. Oh my goodness. It's like I'm seeing 1,000,000 lifetimes happen in you right now. And while they may not all pertain to here and now, be like, what are you talking about? No. But you've had the experiences. Do you get it? Like you've had it already. So it's done, but it's here. It's still expressive for people to see because like you are knowledge. your knowingness. All right. I'm going to let you go. I hope this would serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. Until next week, Inkblot Oracle folks, I will see you. I do try to put in something midweek, usually on Wednesdays or Thursdays, but if not, I'll see you on Saturdays for sure. So much love. Bye.